Hey folks, so like I said yesterday, I got this new camera. I got this new camera, a GoPro. Now, what I found is it's a great camera, but the mounts are quite impractical for what I want it to. So I can buy some mounts, but I'm going to attempt to make some. Now first I'm going to try and make some wood, because I want to get this forge going and making some various parts for other things as well. But I'll explain what you get with it, or what I got with mine. You get a mount that you can stick on an helmet, a work helmet or a motorbike helmet. Now obviously I do a bit of filming around garden. The neighbours think I'm mad already. Can you imagine if I were walking around in a motorbike helmet? Welcome to my world. But anyway, or even an Audat, you know, it's a crazy Englishman, he's talking to the plants again. So yeah, so I'm going to try and make some pots. I'm going to do them at some plywood first, and because I've got this forge going, as I said, I want to try and cast some pots. I've got some sand. I've been doing a bit of studying on green sand, so I'm thinking I'm going to go that way. But I did get the really fine silica sand, so I'm going to do another cast with that. It won't be today, I don't think. I would like to, but I'm banned from the hairdryer. But she's not here, so I might just borrow it again. So that's what I'm going to try and do. As I said, the GoPro comes with some great stuff. It won't go on a standard tripod. I want to mount it to the neck of the guitar. I did try it, put it on with a wire tie, but it flops about a bit, and it's not ideal. It interferes with the tuners. So I'm going to try and make some that'll do that. You can buy them, 35 francs, 40 francs. You can buy different mounting systems, 35, 40 francs. Now for everyone I can make, I'll make up for what I actually want to use them for, the actual purpose. So here we go, and I'll sort of show you this, and I'll sort of give you a look at what I'm doing, and enjoy. So the GoPro, this is parts what I've got, what it comes with, different mounts. There's a curved mount, go on your helmet. Can't play mouth organ with that on. But this is like a shoe. Whether I can cast a shoe eventually, I don't know. And there's a flat mount, there's stick on. So what I'm proposing to do, or what I'm trying to do, is make some sort of dedicated mount. Sorry about the shaky camera-ness. Because I need a dedicated mount. I'd like to be able to mount it on my tripod. You can't mount it on a normal tripod. But all these parts, if I can make something that'll fit that and that, then I can, or should I say that and vice versa on these, I can mount it on various things, you know. For instance, a clip that'll clip on the end of my guitar, and I can have some fun, you know. This is an old headlamp. If I can make a mount that'll go on headlamp, I know I can buy them, but like I said, 40-50 bucks, well 40 francs, then I don't really want, well, I'd love to spend that money, but as a camera goes, it cost enough. And so this is what I'm going to try and achieve. First I'm going to make them out of wood, because I really like to do some casting, as I said, and I think green sand's way to go. But I'm going to test some stuff out. But I'll make first turns out of wood, and I've got a mould then for green casting. You know what I mean, a basic mould. So this is the practice. There's some parts I'd like to make for that drum pedal. I'll just get a look at that in a sec. So this is where I'm going today. Hopefully I might have a video up by this evening. So here we are. What I've got basically is a block of plywood, what I've double screwed, what I've glued, double. A mark. I wouldn't have to do this, hold it, and it wouldn't be wobbly. You'd be able to see me do this in the process. So this is part of the reason I'm trying to build this, or make this mount. And I'm going to put a 5mm hole in it, and then I'm going to shape it so that it'll fit, hopefully, with the camera. And then I'm going to work out a way to mount it to that. Incidentally, on these grips, I'm going to stick some adhesive felt, you know, for what they put on chair feet. Or rubber. I've got some little blocks of rubber what I could use also, but just so it doesn't damage anything that I clip it to, like guitars, you know. So what I've got here, this is a normal M5. I've got a an M5 T-bolt. I've got quite a few bits and pieces which I have, well, not laying around, but in my shop, in my little workshop, I keep a few spare pieces. And what I've done is I've just got another M5 here just to go through here, because that's not long enough, so I might have to actually cut down on width on that, but we'll see how we go. And I'm going to trace around it so I can cut that shape so it'll fit the camera and not restrict the camera's movement, so it'll sort of work on the same principle, well, exactly the same principle. So I'm going to have a go at that. I'm going to have to measure these slots with the calipers. Could be done with a normal tape measure and played by ear, but I'll try to be as accurate as I can on it. So ultimately this might become a blank for an aluminium cast, so I want to try and get it as near as I can. Or a future model. This might be just a prototype. It might never get built if it works really well and goes on here. So there you go. So I've roughly marked it out to sizes, just done a little bit of test cut. I'm using bandsaw, but I use a hacksaw, a metal hacksaw, quite a lot for cutting wood. You can get some really nice cuts with an hacksaw, but I'm going to run it down on bandsaw and see how we go. I've left it in square block so it'll go on bandsaw better. Mark this out, got to cut that as well, and we'll see how we go. I've got it to fit. It's a little bit snug. I'm going to file it out with a little file. Could be sandpaper. I'm going to cut that out first. Depends how anal I get with it, to or how fast I want to try it, to whether how much work I do want filing in that. But then again, I can always do some filing and finishing work while I'm watching your guys' videos. So after some cutting and sanding and filing, it fits. I was going to use that, but that interferes with that, so I can't. The original part fits. It's an M5 like, excuse me, this is the crap thing about not having one of these. This is why I need this. So I'm going to fit that. I'm going to press that with in the vise. I'm going to have to drill the side out a little bit more to fit that so it doesn't split it open. But I've also got to shorten that length slightly, which is a bit of a pain in the bum, but it should be alright. And I'll glue that. I'm going to take probably a bit ends of these spikes off as well and glue it in, just because there's not a lot of play and I don't want it to dig into plastic on here. I ain't gone nuts with this. While I've been making this, I cut it out freehand basically on bandsaw, so but my rounds are not very good, and the blades for heavier work than that. So what I'd probably do if I were doing it as a mould to cast some mounts, I would buy that as a piece of pre-made dowel. It's 15mm, yeah, 1.5 centimetre. So I'd buy that as a piece of pre-made dowel and then make the rest of the mount and glue that to it. I'd still have to drill it out and do this cutting work after. I don't think I'm that good for making a blank. So it'd be a blank, but I could work more than the actual finished article. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. Beauty of that is if I've made a pot, if I make that, I can cast 5, 6, 10 if I want, you know, and use them for various things. So it's filed off, glued down. I've made this all a little bit bigger. Unfortunately, a bit of the plywood chipped off, but I'm not over worried about that. I'm just going to press it in now. Put two pieces of scrap wood in there just to stop me from destroying what I've done so far, and I'll show you again in a minute. So what I'm doing now, I'm going to drill 2 holes in this, so it gives me an option of which angle I mount it at. So I'm going to go one hither and one hither, and that'll give me an option of which way I mount it. If I do it now and then I find out it works better one way than other, I'd rather just do it now. I've drilled it there and there. Unfortunately, I'm not quite in the middle there. My block wasn't very good, wasn't very square, but it'll do the job. Nobody's looking at that. So that's that. I filed that back, And here's the clamp, and what I've done is I've drilled myself a couple of mounting holes there and a couple of mounting holes there, so I've got all options on it. If this is too weak, then I might just put a bit of wood behind it, or even some core body filler. I've got some core body filler. I could put core body filler in it and drill it back out again. But I've tried to give myself as many options as I can. And there we have it. Just found I ain't got any washers. Everything else, no washers that are sat the M5s. But that's not a problem. That works. That holds on. Just for I'm just going to get a couple of pads for them for the clamp, and then we'll give it a go. There we have it. Clip it on that way. Turn it round and clip it on the other way. You can clip it on that way. Turn it round and clip it on the other way. I can literally clip it on whatever I want to clip it on, and use it as and when. Can you see yourself? There you are. Can you see yourself? There you are. Or just swap direction of the actual mount to the other direction, and you've got the broomstick cam. And then there's the guitar cam. Not overly happy with how it's holding on there. I might have to change the pads out for rubber ones, or find it a different way, but it's working in most situations that I want it to work. And I might just have to do a little bit of adaptation to the guitar.